just hate to see it, don't you, Vancouver? Oh, what a freaking brutal day for all Canuck fans as their captain, Quinn Hughes, has been traded to the Minnesota Wild.
Hey, Canucks fans, breaking news. Superstar defenseman, our captain, Quinn Hughes of the Vancouver Canucks, has been traded to the Minnesota Wild.
Crazy Friday night here, just relaxing. Quinn Hughes has been traded to the Minnesota Wild. Alvin and Rutherford setting the NHL news on fire.
I can't believe it, guys. It finally happened. The Vancouver Canucks traded their captain, Norris Trophy winning defenseman Quinn Hughes, to the Minnesota Wild.
The Steve Dangle podcast just went up as the trade for Quinn Hughes broke. It's Quinn Hughes to Minnesota. I'll read the full trade for you before we start talking about everything. Quinn Hughes to Minnesota for Marco Rossi, Zeev Buium, Liam Ogren, and a 2026 first-round pick.
You know, I was just getting ready to watch the Chicago-St. Louis game. Starts in about 15 minutes time. I was just, having a little bit of food, which is now getting cold, because I have to talk to the fine people on the internet about what the Canucks just did.
My initial thought is that there will not be a bigger trade this year, because I think it'd be impossible.
It is time for a brand new series. Now, I've wanted to add another gameplay series. I kind of have been missing the franchise mode series, or maybe a Be a Pro series, and I just didn't know what to do, and eventually I have landed on it. With the Quinn Hughes trade happening, I've decided to rebuild the Vancouver Canucks without Quinn Hughes. It's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough one. Having a 95 overall player in this game is definitely a great thing to have. Not having a 95 overall player is not a great thing to have. But the Canucks did get a good package for the trade they were making. And I've decided, let's hop into franchise mode and see if we can rebuild the Vancouver Canucks without Quinn Hughes. Now, to start, we are just starting on December 12th, the day of the trade. I just simmed up to that day, made the trade. I tried to make the team go as bad as possible. I just did one sim because I didn't really have the time to do multiple. So we are currently 16, 12, and 3. There are some rules. So let's start off with the rules here. Here, the rules are popping up, like this should be on my right here. The rules are trade block only for trades, meaning the player has to be highlighted red, and usually the players sending back have to be highlighted green. Now, the rule for this is that if the player is below 50% of the, so like at least 49%, even in right, I can add a white player to it, not skin color, the text. You can add a player with the white text if they are below 50% of the value, just so that majority of the value is trade block and something I do want to give up, with the exception of one trade per season that I can make with just the player being white text, whether they don't want to get, or a player they don't want to get rid of, or a player they don't want to take, being the majority big piece on either side. I could do one trade per season, meaning I got to be really I got to really, really use that trade to benefit me. And that trade can only occur on draft, trade deadline, and the first 5 days of free agency. Basically, the times where big trades would happen, where a trade where maybe a team wouldn't give up a player like they would want to give up, would make a trade like that day. Free agency. I'm limiting myself in free agency. Usually I don't go too overboard in free agency, but I'm allowed one 85 plus player, two 81 to 84 overall players, unlimited 80 and below players. Obviously I'm not going to abuse that. I'm not going to pick up like 100, right? Obviously there's a contract limit, but I'm not going to pick up a bunch of under or 80 and below players. Just basically filling out the roster. Obviously we're going to let some players go. The rebuild is the direction until the team is clearly ready to compete. So right now it is a rebuild. Even if we do go and make the playoffs this first season, I'm still going to be trying to take a step back, pick up some valuable young assets so that I can make a push. We have Braden Coots, we have Tom Wielander, we have Zeev Buium, we have Liam Ogren, we have a good solid 4 pieces. We need to add to that. I'm trying to go for McKenna, Stenberg, and Verhoff. With the record it is right now, it's going to be a little bit tough, but we want those guys. Prospects play roles roles as they develop. No role skipping. So if we have a third line checking player who's a young prospect, they can't play on the second or third line. If they're a scoring third line forward, the exception can be made. And also, top 3 picks obviously get the exception, right? If we pick Ivar Stenberg third overall, we could put him on the top 2 lines. Basically just trying to play their rules, right? Tom Wielander is a minor top 2, so obviously he's in the NHL right now. His overall's not too great, so he'll probably start in the AHL, which is where I have him right now. Auto scouting only. Honestly, this is just the easiest way, so I don't surgical scout, find a bunch of great players. If I just do auto scouting and then try to draft from there, I feel like it would be a little bit better. I might start picking up scouting a little bit. I might change this rule if I just feel like I want to have a tiny bit more of an advantage, but I feel like auto scouting is fine. It's the way I've been doing it for so long. I have found medium and low elites doing it, but it's just a little harder. Stay under the coach budget unless we go all in. So we have to stay under the coaching and scouting budgets, which is honestly fine. I haven't really done that because I usually do like to go pick up a guy like John Cooper. Now, if we're going to go for the Stanley Cup and we feel like our team is ready to go make a cup push, we can go pick up, let's say, a John Cooper, a big head coach, and pay him a lot of money. But once the team starts taking a step back, obviously we're going to have to go under budget. So those are the rules. Those are the basic rules. If I come up with anyone during the series that I think I should add, I will add them. But as of the moment, I feel like those are a great set of rules. And we'll make sure to go through those every episode. I'll just put them back up on the screen to remember. And yeah, let's hop right into it. So if we go to our team, or where we're at right now, we're at the home screen. The Vancouver Canucks without Quinn Hughes. So let's hop to edit lines. I want to show the lines. Now you're going to see a little bit of a difference. Where is Filipino? Where is Teddy Bluger? And where is Derek Forbert? At the moment, I have them scratched in the AHL. And you might be wondering why I have that. Because they're currently hurt. So Filipino, Derek Forbert, and Teddy Bluger will all be scratched in the AHL until they get... until I think they're healthy. I'm going to go through the timelines of it. I haven't figured that out yet. I feel like I should. Teddy Bluger and Derek Forbert are probably going to be a little bit quicker. Those injuries are very obscure. Filipino, it's probably going to be the whole season. I think I might do that. Now, I know it's going to hurt him to have him that low, but honestly, I don't mind it. So let's hop in. I need to do one thing. We're going to take out Guillaume Brisebois because I do like my guy Jet Wu. What a game he had back in Abbotsford with a lot of fights. We're going to put Tom Wielander up to... See, I want to put him up to the top pair. I think I did want to bring up Victor Mancini. That was a thing I did want to do. So we can move Wu. We can take Mancini out of the lineup. The thing we're doing is, although we want to try to keep it realistic with the lines that we have set, we can do whatever we want, right? We're not going to try to strictly go with the lines and the way they have it in the NHL. I have Baines in the AHL, like, that's a thing. I don't have Ogren playing right now. I feel like I might send Ogren down instead of Baines. I feel like that was a bit of a mistake. And the reason Sassen's not down, for some reason, Sassen doesn't have waiver exemption. He is waiver eligible, which is a little annoying. He also has his extension. I made sure to fix that. The roster didn't have a lot of the stuff that I like the players to have, like the extensions and stuff like that. We didn't have Reichel or Kampf. But yeah, I'm going to do a switch up where I'm going to send Mancini up. We're going to send Ogren down. And we're going to send... I feel like we should send Reichel down. Reichel did get sent down in real life. So, and we need a depth defenseman just on the top there. It's what I like to have. So let's do those roster moves real quickly, and then I'll turn on injuries because I have those off at the moment, right? So Reichel will need waivers. I do feel like Reichel might get claimed. Baines, which is totally fine if Reichel does get claimed. We're looking to trade him anyway. Maybe I'll leave Reichel then for now. We'll go see yeah, you know what? Let's do that. We'll go see what we can get for Reichel. We'll just move the guys who doesn't need waivers right now. And then if we don't really like it, we picked up him for a 4th round pick. I did forget to move the 4th round pick over. So we do have the 4th round pick from Chicago. which is totally fine. Not that biggie of a deal. We can even move it over for like a 7th. Did I do fine trade? Where is Lucas Reichel? Here we have him on the trade block. Let's see if we can find a trade. There's 20. We get a 6th and a 7th, a 3rd round pick, and a player. Frosmack and a 6th, 4th. He's got 4 years left on his deal. I don't know. Got a high. He's got to be like around the same as Reichel. This is a name that I don't recognize. A 22-year-old, 71 overall left defenseman with decent development. Decent development trait. I don't mind that. I'm gonna keep looking though. I feel like I should just pick a pick, like a really solid one. If it was 6'7", 6'7", and I know everyone's gonna go crazy over that, but if it was just a 6th and a 7th overall pick from all the teams, I probably wouldn't do anything at the moment. If anyone's offering me just like a 4th or 3rd round pick like that, you know what? Yeah, that's an upgrade. We'll pick up a 3rd round pick from the Ottawa Senators for Lucas Reichel, and let's hop into it. We got to call up. Is it RHD Baines who we wanted to call up? RHD Baines, call him up. Then we'll go to edit lines. We got to edit the AHL lines. That's totally fine. So we've made our move. We've called up Arshdeep Baines, and we brought down Liam Ogren, which is what we want, and we don't have to make any NHL moves because they are scratched. Sasson, Mancini, and Baines are totally fine being there. I want Ogren and Lekermäki playing together. Not only that, but getting AHL top minute time so they can start scoring. He's got 12 points in 24 games in the AHL. Lekermäki has got 4 goals, 9 assists. I feel like they'll start picking up a little bit, even if they're both. You got a 2-way forward, and I feel like Lekermäki's a sniper. Yeah, and then they're centered by Niels Oman. 2-way forward. I feel like if Ty Mueller's a playmaker, let's put him up there. So that's our AHL lines, and then Tom Wielander will be playing on the top pair with Kirill Kudryavtsev. Just feel like that's the best player to put him with, especially like a 75 overall. These two, are they both offensive defensemen actually? 2-way defender? No, Wielander's not an offensive defender. They're both 2-way defenders. It's totally fine. But let's go. We have it set. We can start simming. So the goal is a rebuild. So we can't start simming right now. I'm going to go to trade block. That's the first thing I want to go to. This is the trade block. Now Lucas Reichel's gone. I might add David Kampf. I feel like I might not though actually, because we got Derek Forbert, Teddy Bluger, Evander Kane, and Kiefer Sherwood. Kiefer Sherwood, I don't even know what we could get for him. If we were to, can you? No, you can't do it from the screen. That's so dumb. I wish you could just do find trade. Click on it and find trade. I want to do find trade for Kiefer Sherwood. I feel like we can't get a 1st round pick for him, but a 2nd round pick would be fine. I tried to I upped his overall by 1 just to see if it would help. A 2nd and a 3rd, a 2nd and a 3rd, a 2nd and a 4th and a player. 2nd and a 3rd, 2nd and a 3rd, 2nd and a 3rd. Oh, and I know I broke the trade block rule for Reichel. I did find trade. I feel like find trade's fine, especially for a depth piece. I want big trades. Also, it doesn't really show you here if they want to get rid of it. I just thought the 4th round pick was good, so I just did it from there. So I could have broken a rule, and you know what? I will go with it. I will go with it. If I broke the rule, that's fine. It's such a small trade, it doesn't really matter. I feel like if the team wanted to give up that piece for him, that's fine. Yeah, so I don't think we'll get a 1st round pick for Kiefer Sherwood, but we'll try our best. We will try our best. So let's start simming. Let's get as far as possible, see where we are. I want to get up to the trade deadline, so I think we'll sim till at least just the end of December. For now, see where we're at and kind of start making decisions about where we are. Because if we are making a playoff push, I might move off of pieces like Sherwood. Like, we're going to pick up 2 wins, aren't we? And they did pick up those wins in real life. This is recorded right after the Rangers game. That's another win. 4 in a row. This is actually 6 in a row. Now 7 in a row. I feel like we're going to make the playoffs. there's a loss. I hope we go on a bit of a losing streak. We're not in the best standings at the moment. I got to move over. We got 45 points, and the team behind us has 43. If we can get out of the playoffs, that would be fine. Go on a long losing streak. That's exactly what I want. But right now, we're in the playoffs. So, kind of like gotta play as it is. Yeah, Hughes. And Pettersson having 31 points. I did scratch him and Hughes to try to get them to play, to get the team to play poorly. Philip Peronic is an assist leader. That's crazy. He's popping off. Philip Peronic having a good year. Demko's not on this list of wins, which is fine. Let's see. Is there anything else that I really want to do before I go? Just sim up. I feel like Stat Central will just take a look about where the players are at currently, about close to halfway through the season. Yeah, so 31 points for Pettersson, 26 games. He's having a great season. We'll just pretend he got hurt for a while. Connor Garland and Vander Kane having good seasons. DeBrusque. Rossi's having a good year. Don't know what the splits are. He's got, 8 points in 8 games since joining us. He had 15 points in 31 games, 12 goals, 3 assists. He was scoring goals. Not really doing it here, but I feel like he's feeding Besser a little bit more, who is having only 20 points. 8 goals, 12 assists. A little disappointing. Kiefer Sherwood, 10 goals, 6 assists for 16 points. That's actually insanely close to what he's at. I did up his shooting stats a little bit just to hope that he would pick up a little bit more goals to get a more realistic stat line. So Ratu at 12 points. I hope he can get a little bit more. Anyone else? Hoglander not having that great of a year. He is playing on the 4th line though. Zeev Boyum not having that offensive good season. I have him playing with Tyler Myers on the second pair. I think that's a bit of a stretch to where he's a top 6 defender. And honestly, I think playing him above Mancini and DPD is totally fine. I feel like we just sim. We just sim now to not to the trade deadline. I feel like we sim to the end of this month and see where we're at, because we did go on a bit of a losing streak. So will that continue or will that not continue? Hopefully it continues, because I want to go on a rebuild. So we lose to Boston. All right, Buffalo. Oh, we get a trade request for Burton Bluger. I'm going to say no for now. I might shop around at the end of this month just to see where the values of our players are at. And I feel like, you know what, we'll go to halfway through this month. So we'll do stop about here. All right, we've hit the 14th, the 15th. We're going to go to the 16th. I pressed circle, and I thought it was going to continue going, but we are going to stop on the 18th. All right, this is the thing I want to do. The reason I wanted to stop here is I think Teddy Bluger should be back by January 18th. If I'm crazy, I'm not trying to say if I'm crazy. I think that he should be back. I hope so. Like in real life, I really hope that he's back at around this time. So we'll bring Teddy Bluger up. We do have to send someone down to do so. So yeah, he's coming off IR. Teddy Bluger. We're gonna send Baines down, obviously, because he doesn't need waivers at the time, which works for us. We're not gonna count Reichels as the trade that we use with two white. Non-trade block trade. I feel like that's a better way of saying it. As David Kamp's going to come out of the lineup, Atu Ratu will stay 3rd line center, and we're going to play Teddy Bluger as the 4th line center. Hoglander, can we move him up? I feel like we can move him up for Drew O'Connor. The non-trade block trade, Reichel will not be it. The thing I do want to look at in the offseason, the thing that could look at in the offseason is a guy like Connor Garland. Try to open that up a little bit more, right? Because we don't have a clause. Oh, it's no clause for 2 seasons. I thought the no movement kicked in right away. Okay. So that's nice to see. Thatcher Demko is one. I mean, he's obviously a tank killer. He could get us a lot of value. No clause. So that contract's wrong. So that's weird that contract's wrong. Elias Pettersson's another one. where we might look in the offseason to see if we can move him. If he would waive his clause in the offseason, but I feel like we're going to be such a good team, he won't do that. Teddy Bluger's back. For Derek Forbert, he'll be back. I feel like we'll bring him back the week before the trade deadline, and then Filipino's going to be out for the year. I feel like that's just best. I feel like that's just the best thing to do with Filipino, even though he technically isn't hurt in this sim, is to leave him out till the end of the season, because that's probably what it's going to be in real life. So Derek Forbert will come back after the Olympic break. I feel like that's actually, we're going to move it up. After the Olympic break is when Derek Forbert will come back. So we'll sim up to this, and then we'll go through the Olympic break. Bring Derek Forbert back. We're losing a little bit more. Our record's getting closer to 500 as we do pick up a win, and we're still in a wild card spot. So I feel like we're going to be what the Canucks are going to do. The Canucks might end up doing this season is start winning a bunch, and then 2 second-round picks. Maybe we can get a first-round pick for Kiefer Sherwood. Saw 2 second-round picks there from Dallas. I feel like if we do move out of the playoffs and miss it, it's not going to be too drastic, and we're going to be in the mid-ranges yet again. Even though I want McKenna, even though I want a Verhoff, even though I want a Stenberg, and I don't think we'll be able to make a trade. We probably won't be able to move up, so let's see. We'll bring Derek Forbert back into the lineup. This is going to be just basically setting the table for this franchise mode. Lekkerimäki's up to an 80. That's what we like to see. Lekkerimäki being up to an 80. We could actually bring him in. It might help the rebuild a little bit. Maybe keeping him in the AHL might help a little bit more. Not sure. Did Tom Wielander grow at all? He's up to a 75. That's perfect. Forbert. We have to bring someone down in order to do so. Sasson. I feel like it's the best way to do it. Hopefully we don't lose Sasson to waivers. Does not look like it. Usually it pops up. So we do have Sasson. And Forbert's going to move into the lineup immediately for P.O. Joseph. I feel like I should have done that for Mancini. We could also send... Oh, yeah. We could just send Mancini down. Yeah, I guess we're doing some paper transactions here with Sasson. Even though you usually do that with your non-waiver players. As we will send down Victor Mancini, who does need waivers, so maybe we don't send down Victor Mancini. Maybe it was the best thing to send down Sasson. 2 defensemen up. I feel like we can send down P.O. Joseph would be the best one to send. I feel like we keep both of them up. I feel like having those guys down there on the roster will help in the AHL. LeBate comes out of the lineup for Sasson. LeBate's overall should be, I think, a little bit higher. We could move not Cooper Walker. We could move Nolan Walker out for LeBate on the wing. We'll move Cambites down. LeBate back to center. McEachran can move down. And Sasson on the wing on the second line. That's totally fine. We put Baines into the lineup. We might not have put Baines into the lineup, do we? Ulrichsen. Yeah, Baines is down too. So Cooper Walker can come out of the lineup now for Archdeep Baines. We could have Oman on the wing with Sasson, Centering, Klimovich, and Baines. Feel like that would be a good lineup for the AHL there. Let's see how they're doing. They're not doing too well. I hope that we could have their record. Why can't we have their record? Our scoring is great. All right. I brought Derek Forbert up early, didn't I? That's totally fine. It doesn't matter at all. Let's sim to the week before the trade deadline, and then we'll sim up to the trade deadline after, and we'll take a look, see where we're at. We'll do some shopping with our players, and then yeah, because I feel like we're not gonna buy. I think we need to rebuild, and this team is just outperforming where we need to be. We have to add a 3rd round pick to get the package. Maybe we can't get a first. The Olympic break is done. Come on. The sim needs to be faster in this game. Can this please just go by faster? a 4th round pick, Derek Forbert, for a 2nd. I might move off of Derek Forbert by the deadline anyway, so having Mancini and Mike Sullivan's been fired, Mancini and Joseph up still is fine because we'll end up calling up Sasson anyway. Let's do some shopping and then we'll sim up to the week of the deadline. Just to have a knowing of what we can get for our players before we hop in. So the first player we want to do is Evander Kane, who does have higher value than Sherwood still. I feel like he is having a good year. That's why. So a 2nd and 4th. 2 4th round picks in there. 2 thirds from Minnesota. 3rd and a 4th prospect. 2 thirds. 2 thirds. It's kind of just looking at what we can get. We can get Logan Hensler and H. Stanley. A 2nd to 6th from Toronto. And this isn't even with retention on his contract. So that's what Evander Kane looks like. Kiefer Sherwood, we already kind of looked. Teddy Bluger's one I want to look at as well. See what we can get here. A 4th and a 6th, a 3rd, 6th, 3rd and a 7th. So I feel like getting a 3rd. Although, yeah, it will probably just end up turning into one of those prospects we could end up getting as well. Just better to gamble on the draft than maybe we can get a steal and it turns into a good trade. Derek Forbert. I feel like this value will be very low. Press fine trade. We can also do David Camp. Yeah, like a 7th. Just all those prospects we've been getting offered. Let's see here. If we go to... Let's go to the one Chicago or Colorado is offering. We'll just go to edit. Is it green and red? It's green and red. Perfect. So if we do end up making that trade, we know that it's green and red. Now we know where our values are at with our players. I'll review the footage when I'm done, when I'm editing, just so I can get a good understanding and write it down. Let me know in the comments as we sim up to the day before the trade deadline. I'm going to go full screen here. Let me know in the comments below what we should get, what we should do. Should we trade any of our players? I feel like getting rid of one of Sherwood and or Kane would be fine. I don't feel like buying. Should we just hold still? Should we try to get a pick for at least one of our players? Because our division is tough. We're currently tied with the Ducks for the last playoff spot. We could move out of the playoffs, but it is kind of just like we'll move out and probably get like the 15th overall pick, like the Vancouver Canucks would. This is not really a great start to like a rebuild. If it were for the Vancouver Canucks, maybe next season might get a little bit worse than it is right now. I feel like the team isn't too bad when you do look at the lineup. I think it's just kind of, for some reason, it's the coaching maybe is a little bit more cohesive, right? Like this second line totally isn't bad at all, especially with Marco Rossi being a high top 6. He could probably grow maybe to an 86, 87 overall. Elias Pettersson being an 87 overall, like hoping he can boost it up just a little bit. He's above point per game just by 1 point. He's dropping off a little bit, but he's having a good year. He's having a bit of a bounce back season. Connor Garland, Evander Kane, right? Like we do need a big piece, and I was hoping to fall to get either Stenberg or McKenna. It seems like we probably won't be in that race. And also the goaltending is something that we need to look at. Kevin Lankinen having 2 no movements. Demko not having a no movement is kind of helping. And we might be able to move off them. But also at the same time, I do want to kind of try to keep it realistic. Demko doesn't want to move. Demko does not want to move. But yeah. That is it for this one, this first episode. I apologize if it is just short and kind of just setting the ground. And we're simming through. The sim wasn't that as good as we wanted it because we wanted it to be bad. 26 wins for Demko. I'm just checking the leaderboards. Hronik's still up there in assists. But yeah, Demko's now up there in wins. But we're not at the stage where we're in complete rebuild like the Vancouver Canucks would be in real life. But I don't know what to do. Should we stay still? Should we sell a little bit? And if we do make the playoffs, it's just like, whatever. We do have 2 first-round picks. I'm going to check where Minnesota is at the moment. They are out of the playoffs with 64 points, but they're pretty close. So it could just be 2 middle round picks. We could move up if that is a possibility to get a higher pick. But I don't know how it's going to go. Let me know in the comments below. What do you guys think? I have to repeat myself. I apologize. I'm all over the place. But yeah, I set a goal to try to hit 500 subscribers by the end of this upcoming season. End of this regular season in real life. If you guys enjoy this kind of content and you're a Canucks fan, make sure to hit the subscribe button. We're going to be doing this series every week. Get ready. It's going to be a wild ride. Hopefully we do good. Hopefully we win a cup. Hopefully we do better than my Quebec Nordiques franchise mode. But without further ado, the video on your right is the video from Monday. The video on your left is the video from Friday. Subscribe right down under there. And I'll see you guys in the next one.